So part 2 says fencing off the place for the dog. All right. To separate the place for the dog from the rest of the backyard, you need fencing. Fred's Hardware and Bob's Hardware sell the fencing you need. Fred's Hardware sells fencing in two different lengths as shown in the figures 1 and 2. All right. So we see figure 1, we see length. One length is equal to 10 feet and the cost is equal to $5,000. We see in figure 2 that the length is equal to 5 feet and the cost is $3,000. All right. Now, am I still recording? Yes. So Bob's Hardware will sell you all the fencing you need to fence off the place for your dog for $28,000. Now, class, when we look at Bob's Hardware, our common sense would tell us that we can't afford Bob's Hardware because remember we have a budget and it says that we should not we should spend less than $30,000. That's what he said in the first part there. Let me go back there to uh to to make sure. Let me make sure that's what. All right, yes. So the fencing, let me increase a little bit. I think I can increase a little bit. All right, good. So I'm increasing a little bit. So the fencing and the supplies you need for the dog, example, dog food, should cost less than $30,000, right? Should cost less than $30,000. So it should not cost 30. No, it should not cost over 30. It should cost less than 30. All right? So you have to follow instruction. When we look at Bob's Hardware now, Bob's Hardware is selling all the fencing that we need for $28,000. We can't work with that because remember that we don't buy the other supplies for the dog as yet. This is just for the fencing. We need supplies for the dog. Remember they said that up top here? Let me show you that again. It says the fencing and the supplies you need for the dog. Example, dog food should cost less than $30,000. So this is just a fencing. We have to take into consideration that we don't buy the supplies for the dog as yet. So Bob's Hardware is expensive. So therefore we are going to X off Bob. See there, we X him off already. X him off. So we're gonna X off Bob's Hardware. We're not gonna work with Bob's Hardware. We're gonna X him off. Alright? Alright, we're gonna X him off. Let me just erase some of the X and just make one big X. So we're gonna X him off because we're not gonna work with him. He's too expensive. We're gonna X him off. Alright? So we're gonna work with Fred's Hardware. Alright? Because Fred's Hardware sells fencing in two different lengths as shown in figures 1 and 2. So we see in figure 1, the length equal 10 feet and the cost equal $5,000. And in figure 2, the length equal 5 feet and the cost equal $3,000. Now right away some children would say that I'll choose figure 2 because figure 2 is cheaper because the cost is $3,000. No. We have to do some calculation here to find out which figure we should go with. All right, we can't just pick a figure and say that that's the cheapest figure because we look at the cost and see that the cost is $3,000 for figure 2 and $5,000 for figure 1. Right, we have to ensure that we do our calculation to be sure and which one to buy. All right, because we have a budget to work with and that's less than $30,000. All right, anything less than $30,000, that's our budget. All right, so let's go. All right, so we're gonna work out. Can I do my workings here? Yes. All right, let me do my workings here. I'm just part of I don't want to erase my X because we X off Bob's Hardware, right? We X him off. It's too expensive. All right, so let's go now. Red. All right, so figure 1. So FIG stands for figure 1 for me. So figure 1. All right, so this is for figure 1. Option, this is for option 1. All right, figure 1, option 1. All right, so you have an option to choose. All right, figure 1, option 1. All right, good. Now, and remember, this is Fred's hardware. All right, so let me put it there. Fred's, so don't get it mixed up. Fred's, working with Fred's hardware. Fred's hardware, not working with Bobby at all. All right, good. So figure 1, option 1, we have to look at the perimeter of uh, our fence now. Perimeter of our fence now. All right, we're gonna look at the perimeter now, and the perimeter was 41 feet, right? Because the perimeter is what enclose the fence off area for our dog, right? So we want to look at the perimeter, which is 41 feet. So therefore, we have to look at the perimeter, and then we have to divide the one length, which is equal to 10 feet, with the perimeter. All right, so our perimeter is 41. We have to divide the 41, which is our perimeter, well, divide it by 10, which is one length, of fence. All right, so the 10 feet is one length of fence, so we have to divide it by that. So divide the perimeter, so this is the perimeter, by the one length of fence. All right, it's the perimeter divided by the one length of fence, which is 10. Lord. All right, so what am I doing? Must erase everything here. All right, good. So 41, which is the perimeter, we divide it by the one length of fence, which is 10. All right, which is 10 feet. So I'm still recording. Yes. So when we divide it, we would get 4.1. All right, we'll get 4.1 lengths of fence. 4.1 lengths of fence. All right, let me write it out. 4.1 lengths. 4.1 lengths of fence. Now it's 4 and a little bit, right? So it's 4 and over, a little bit over. 4 and a little bit over lengths of fence. All right, because remember, this is to enclose our fence off area for our dog. All right, this is to enclose the fence off area for our dog. All right, so we get 4 length and a little bit. All right, so 4.1, 4 lengths and a little bit over. All right, so this is our this is figure 1, option 1 for Fred's hardware. But guess what, it don't finish yet, because we have to include the cost. So the cost now, am I still recording? Yes. So the cost now, we can't forget the cost. So the cost now, oh, should I just put the cost first? Yes, let me put the cost first. So the cost for option 1, figure 1, is $5,000, don't it? Yes, man, $5,000. So it's $5,000 for the one length of fence. See it here? Yes, so $5,000 for the one length of fence here, which is 10 feet. All right, so we have to times the cost, which is 5,000, by what? The 8.1 lengths of fence. All right. So when we times it by this, we would get 20,500. That's the total cost for option one, Fred's Hardware, right? I'm gonna put my dollar sign. All right, 20,500. That's for option one. Now option two, let me separate it. So option two, so same Fred's Hardware, option two. All right, so use a blue marker now. All right, so same Fred's Hardware, option two. So figure two, still recording. Yes. So figure two, option two. All right. Option two. All right. So we have to look at the perimeter, which is 41. Same thing. All right. All right, which is 41 perimeter. 41. All right, and we have to divide it by 5 this time because we're looking at figure 2. All right, and figure 2, one length is equal to 5 feet. All right, one length is equal to 5 feet and the cost is $3,000. So when we divide the 41, which is the perimeter, by 5, we would get what? We would get what, class? Beautiful. So we would get 8.2. All right. So we would get 8.2. All right. So we would get 8.2, which is the length of fence. All right. So 8 and a little over. All right. 8 and a little over. All right. So 8.2 length of fence. All right. So we get an 8 and a little over, just a little over, just like option 1. All right. So 8.2 length of fence. All right. And we can't forget the cost. All right. We can't forget the cost. So we have the cost, and we have to multiply the cost by the 8.2 length of fence. All right. So the cost is $3,000. Remember. Now for figure 2, Fred's Hardware, the cost is $3,000, and we have to multiply that by the 8.2 length of fence. All right, 8 and a little over. All right, so when we multiply it, our answer we would get for the total is let me see. So we get 24,000. Yes, 24,600. You can multiply it. All right. So 24,600. So even though we are working with Fred's Hardware, which figure would you work with? Which figure is the cheapest figure? All right. So we would work with figure 1, option 1 for Fred's Hardware because we would pay $20,500. All right. In figure 2, option 2, we would pay $24,600 if we choose figure 2. All right. So we're working with the cheapest because we have a budget to maintain. All right. And we X out Bob's Hardware because it's too expensive, giving us all the fencing we need just for $28,000. All right, that is too expensive, so we X him off, right? We have a budget to meet because remember, the supplies for the dog is not purchased as yet, so we have to stay in our budget. All right, So we're going to move on to number 1 in part 2. All right. So it says, oh, we should have done our workings in this box here. Oh my, never mind still, but it's the same thing. So we can always go back. All right. My recording, yes. So using the information in part 1 and 2, what is the least amount of money needed to buy the fencing to make the fence off place for the dog? Show how you arrive at your answer. We just did up top here. We should have done the work in this box. All right, but I do my work in here. So therefore, and I can't copy. No, I can't copy. All right, not allowed to copy. All right, good. So the least amount, I could say that the least amount amount least amount needed, I can say. So least amount needed is 20,500. All right, so that's the least amount needed for the fence off place for the dog. All right, least amount needed to buy the fence to make the fence off place for the dog, 20,500. All right, we just did our calculation up here, we just did the workings up here. All right, no need to transfer it here because we did it up there. All right, good. So we are at part 3. All right, so part 3 says cost of supplies for the dog. So we reach the cost now. We just deal with the fencing. So you see, I'm telling you we couldn't choose Bob's Hardware because Bob's Hardware is $28,000 for all the fencing that we need. So we have to learn how to stay in our budget because we don't buy the supplies for the dog. And here's it now. We are going to purchase the supplies for the dog now in part 3. So you need to buy supplies for the dogs. The table shows supplies for the dog, their prices, and how often dog owners use them. So read the table below in the following way. 20 people said that they use a collar for their dogs 3 times per week. 27 people said that they use a collar for their dogs 1 time per week. So here's the table. And we see the supplies for the dog, which is flea and tick powder, sponge and scrub brush, collar, dog shampoo and conditioner, dog toy, food and water bowls. All right. And we see their we see their prices, and we see how many times they have used per week and how many times they have never used. All right, good. So let us skip down a little. It says now, number 1, use the information in the table to decide which 4 items for the dog you are likely to use more often and explain the reason for your choices. So I'm gonna talk while I'm explaining. All right, I'm gonna use the table and explain at the same time. All right, good. So all right, so when I look on the table, I see that flea and tick powder, the price is $900, and 2 people use it 3 times per week. 5 people use it 1 time per week, and 70 never use it. Right? Sponge and scrub brush, $800 is the cost. Used 3 times per week by 1 person. Use 1 time per week by 2 people. 2 persons rather. Never use 80 people never use it, right? Color, $1,500 used 3 times per week, 20 people. 27 people use 1 time per week, never use 50. Dog and shampoo and conditioner, $500 for the cost. Use 3 times per week, 4 people. Use 1 time per week, 15 people. Never use 5 people. Dog toy, $800. 14 people use it 3 times per week. 90 people use it 1 time per week. One person use it. One person never use it. All right. And the No, did I say that? Right. So food and bowls and water bowls. $3,000. 100 use it per 3 times per week. Use it 1 time per week. 90 people. Never use zero. So therefore, I would choose. Am I still recording? Yes. So I would choose uh, the four main one that um, people often use, right? And these are color. I will use the color. I will choose dark shampoo and conditioner, dark tie, food and water bowls. All right, I will use those these four items here because I believe that these are the four main items that people use often. All right, and it's actually necessary for the dog um, um, it is actually necessary for the dog. All right, to work with your life. All right, so we know that we need a collar to walk our dog. All right, so we need a collar to walk our dog. We need a dog shampoo and conditioner. And if we buy this, we don't necessarily have to buy flea and tick powder because if we clean our dog, bathe our dog and keep our dog clean, keep our dog clean. Yes, if we bathe and keep our dog clean, then we don't have to buy flea, or maybe I should say, we don't have to buy the flea and tick powder, all right? And the the dog needs something to play with at times, don't it? So we need to buy that as well. And food and water bowls is a must because the dog must eat, right? Dog can't bark an hungry belly, right? So the dog have to get feeding. The dog have to get his food so that he can work, all right? Because we don't want no silent dog around here. Our dog should bark, all right? We don't want a dog that can't bark. Don't make no sense. That would be a dog that don't have any use, right? We want a dog that can bark. So we need to feed him, all right, for him to do his work, both at night and day, all right? Tell us, make sound for the intruder. All right, good. So I choose color, dark shampoo and conditioner, dark toy, food and water bowls. All right, I choose those four items there. All right, am I still? Okay, great. So we're gonna move on now to number one again. So it says use the information in the table to decide which four items for the dog you are likely to use more often. And I just selected them and I gave my reasons. All right. So I choose color. I choose color, and the color price is equal to $1,500. So I will choose color because the dog needs a color to walk. All right, need to walk him. This German Shepherd need a color because these dogs are bloodhound dogs. They're dangerous dogs. All right, need a color. All right, so I choose dog shampoo and conditioner. So D stands for dog, S stands for shampoo, and C stands for dog conditioner. All right, so dog shampoo and conditioner. So let me put the and in the. All right, let me write it better than that. So dog shampoo and conditioner. All right, sorry, conditioner is equal to what? So dog shampoo and conditioner is $500. Yes, $500. It's $500. All right, and dog toy would equal to $800, I believe. Yes, and what next? And the food and water bowls, beautiful. So the food and water bowls now. So F stands for food, and W stands for water, food and water, and B stands for bowl. All right, food and water bowl would equal to $3,000, I believe. All right. Good. $3,000. All right, good. So these are the four items I choose, right? And when I add all of them, when I add 1,500, 500, 800, 3,000, so I get 0, 0, 18, okay, I'm a 1, 3 plus 1, 4, and 1, 5. So I get $5,800. All right, so this is all. This is the total for my four items. Total cost for my four items. Am I recording? Yes. So this is the total cost for my four items that I've selected. $5,800. All right. So, all right. So let me go down and see what they are saying here. So part 4, conclusion. So this is the conclusion. Let us hear the whole conclusion of the matter. All right. So you have $30,000 to build the fence and buy supplies for the dog. Based on your work in part 2 and part 3, do you have enough money to build the fence and to buy the four items for the dog? If you do, explain your answer by showing your working or using words. If you do not have enough money, what can you change so that you do not spend more than $30,000? So yes, we would have uh, we don't go over the budget. So therefore, we would answer the question that says, if you do explain, sorry, let me read up further. Based on your work in part 2 and part 3, do you have enough money to build the fence and to buy the four items for the dog? Yes, I would say yes. All right, so let me, so it says now, if you do, explain your answer by showing your working or using words. So I did show my workings, and I show my workings by doing calculating my four items. So I'm gonna do another workings now, some other workings now rather, that would sum up why I have enough money, right? I have enough money to do all of that. All right, so $5,800. All right, sorry, what am I doing? So $5,800. Yes, so $5,800 for my four items for my dog, and $20,500. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, I need to erase that zero. That is saying Ilan Goli right, oh Ilan Goli. All right, good. So 20,500. All right. So I will add my hardware price, my total hardware price, which is this. Where is it? Need to find you. All right, good. So this is my price for the hardware, the total cost for the hardware. My length of fence, which is 20,500. All right, so we'll add this for the fencing, my perimeter fence. 20,500 is the cost. So I'll add that. All right, so least amount needed to buy the fencing to make the fence off place for the dog. So my fence off place for the dog, the least amount needed was $25,500 from Fred's Hardware. So I'll add that 20,500 with the $5,800 for the supplies for the dog. Am I still recording? Yes. When I add it together, let me see if I add enough money. So let me add, I'm adding. So 8 plus 5 is what? 13, I believe so. And 5 plus 1 is 6, and plus 2. So this would be $26,300. $26,300. So I stay in my budget. All right, I stay in my budget. And if I minus, see there, $30,000, minus from 26,300. All right. So I'm gonna minus this. Cancel this one from that. All right, so carry one there. So 6 from 10 give you what? So no, this is a 9. Let me cancel this. This is a 9. All right, I have one over here. All right, so this 0, this 0. 3 from 10 is 7. What should be here? This is 26,000. All right, so 6 from 9. 6 from 9 give you what? 3. All right, and this is 0. So I saved. I am actually 26,000 from 30,000 leaves $3,700. So you see, I save a lot. I stay within my budget. I don't pass $30,000, and my goods don't come up to $30,000. So it is less than $30,000. So you see that I have enough money. Yes, because it says based on your work in part 2, still recording, part 2 and 3, do you have enough money to build the fence and to buy the 4 items for the dog? Yes. Yes. If do, explain your answer by showing your working. I just did. So yes, so I just see that this performance task is not that hard. It just takes reasoning. All right, we have to reason out the questions and see how best we can answer them. All right, so it's not hard, but we need to reason out the questions. All right, and when we reason out the questions, we will have an understanding of what to do, and we would apply the necessary things that we need to apply to achieve our task. All right, and as I said earlier, or I said before, if we keep practicing these past papers, practice how to answer these questions, then we are able to uh, do well in PEP. All right. So I hope you have learned something. Um, Keep practicing. That's the key to pass PEP. Practice, 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 practice until you master answering these questions. All right. God bless you. God keep you. Stay safe. Keep tuned, or stay tuned, I should say, for the next teaching and learning video.